Although such education may be technical, it must nonetheless be founded on Ethiopia's cultural heritage if it is to bear fruit and if the student is to be well adapted to its environment and the effective use of his skills facilitated. Time was when strength and endurance, courage and faith were sufficient to make leadership equal to the task. To the task. But times have changed, and these spiritual qualities are no longer enough. Today, knowledge and training, as provided largely in the universities of the world, have become essential, and today's leadership and advancement, both national and international, rely heavily upon the products of universities. Even as Mr. Tubman, Mr. Mr. Yunan, Madame Bandarkanika, and Mr. Yu Thant were each educated in their own land. We trust that this university will produce leaders of comparable stature. In all countries of the modern world, special competence is required to deal with the advancement of architecture, industry, commerce, and the civil service. That competence can be secured only through facilities which are provided in modern universities. We have often pointed out that the future of Ethiopia is largely conditioned upon accelerated Ethiopia is largely conditioned upon accelerated architect agriculture development, upon mineral exploitation, and upon industrial expansion. Her survival depends on these, but they in turn depend upon the competence of those who have received and who will receive the essential education and training. It is our confident hope that this institution, which has been planned for many years, will provide here in our own land for their own youth the higher education and the specialized training required for such development. That which man dreams and to which he aspires, unless faith fulfilled in his own lifetime, can produce no actual satisfaction to him. As for us, thanks to be unto God that in the founding of this university we have realized a lifelong aspiration. Fundamental values and moral power. Considering the role of universities in a bordered sense, we are persuaded that these institutions stand today as the most promising hope for constructive solutions to the problems that bestilled the modern world, problems which prevent the peaceful cooperation of nations, problems which threaten the world and humanity with death and disaster. From the universities must come men, ideas, knowledge, experience, technical skills, and the deep humane understanding vital to fulfill relations among nations. Without these world order for which we have so long strived cannot be established from the universities too. Must come that ability which is the most valued attribute of civilized men everywhere. The ability to transcend narrow passions, to engage in honest conversation. For civilizations is by nature the victory of persuasion over force. Unity is strength. No nation can divide within itself and remain powerful. It is this strong conviction that underlies the decision to plan for the well-organized and coordinated system of education, training, and research which a university represents. Which a university represents. A university is the foundation, is the fountain of learning. Seek knowledge, and there you shall find it. Nor can we ignore the importance of the spiritual in this academic life. Learning and technical training must be nurtured by faith in God. Reverence for the human soul and respect for the reasoning mind. There is no safer anchorage for our learning, our lives, and our public actions than provided by divine teachings coupled with the best in human understanding. Leadership developed here should be guided by fundamental values and the moral power which have the centuries constituted the essence of our religious teachings. And these are crucial times when nations rise against nations. Tensions increase and disaster is possible at any moment. Distance are shrinking, peace and life threatening by misunderstanding and conflict. Now is the time when the sincere belief in mankindship to God must be the foundation for all man's effort for enlightenment and learning, the basis for all understanding, cooperation, and peace. We charge all of you, the members of this university, that these special values remain foremost as a foundation for your knowledge and thought, so that the fundamental morals truths will buttress and support the whole structure of university life. Discipline of the mind is a basic ingredient of genuine morality and therefore of spiritual strength. Indeed, a university taken in all its aspects is essentially a spiritual enterprise, which among the knowledge and training it imparts leads students into more wise living and a greater sensitivity to life's responsibilities. Upon the present of engineering and in the Ethio-Swedish Building College, these institutions we trust, which are now merged into the university, will be engaged and developed so that the number of competent Ethiopian technicians will continue to increase. Education and investment. Education is costly, and higher education is the most costly of all. But it is also an investment. a very profitable investment, and the money spent in coordinating, strengthening, and expanding higher education in Ethiopia is well invested. We are proud. Wait. Or, what did I say? We are proud of our people's recognition of the value of education. Their concerned effort in the building of schools and others social activities is most gratifying. Educational institutions, unlike businesses, enterprise, do not exist and operate for profits and dollars and cents. They exist to perform public services, and they are judged by effectiveness and economy with which they perform these services. To the Board of Governors, to the administrators, we recommend economy so that the benefits of the university can be enjoyed by as many of your young men and women as possible. Not a dollar should be wasted on money so hardly earned and so generously contributed by your own government and by the governments of other nations. Plan plan thoughtfully, supervise closely, and manage economically to the end that the greatest possible return may be realized in the preparation of competent manpower and useful research, and in training both technical and moral leadership and intimate gain of the consolidation and cooperation, the centralization of resources and operations should be a saving in cost, and we urge all to cooperate fully in the attempt to realize this objective. Diligence is demanded in developing this university as rapidly as possible to meet and compelling needs of our empire. We would ask that extraordinary emphasis be placed on the training of teachers for our primary and secondary schools. The educational process cannot be a narrow column. It must be in the shape of a pyramid and broadly based. To provide this broad base, large numbers of teachers are required, and we have a duty to provide Ethiopian teachers for these schools. This is why we have established teacher training centers in Haro and other places. Need for various disciplines. The study of the humanities must not be neglected, and the College of Arts and Science must be strengthened and encouraged to develop its studies. These are the subjects which contribute most to the understanding and growth of our cultural heritage, and so assist in fulfilling one of the university's primary aims. These studies, which are concerned with human cultural achievements, human rights and duties, human freedoms, will enable youth to develop the understanding and judgment necessary to the evolution of a sound philosophy of life, to the making of wise choices, and to understand what is involved in these choices. These young people face the world beset with the most effectively organized programming of deceptive propaganda of the thinly screened operations ever known. They deserve the best they can be taught by their parents, by religious institutions, and by the university to prepare them for a wise choice among contending ideals. We would ask for the immediate founding of a graduation facility of law where our own graduates may be trained to enter the legal profession. Our empire has need in its government. It clamors for well-educated lawyers, and particularly for those who have been trained in their own university, in their own codes and customs. We would also ask for the organization of a faculty of medicine in the near future. The training of doctors is a long and arduous process, and this very fact makes it all the more urgent that our own faculty be inaugurated as soon as possible. While laying down great stress of education for our younger citizens, we should not forget the obligation and the opportunity which the university will have with respect to the older citizens as we study the plans and projects of this university. We realize that much attention is being given to the extension of its usefulness to the entire population in the form of extension courses and lectures. This is according to our wish. Haile Selassie University should attempt either at this main site or at a branch to serve every qualified citizen who wishes and is able to avail himself of the resources of the university if he is willing to do the required work. Highest calling. We do not suggest that the list of needs which we have mentioned is complete, but they represent needs to which this university is seeking to respond. The heaviest responsibilities will naturally fall on the faculty. Theirs is the job of training the minds and hands of youth of Ethiopia and the knowledge and in the special skills. We may all be proud of the Ethiopian members of the faculty who have adopted this highest of callings and who have in the past and will continue in the future to render great service to their nation. The teachers who, in the past coming from many different countries, have discharged the duties of educated Ethiopian young men and women have earned our appreciation and gratitude, the appreciation and gratitude of all of us. Their example should spur on those who staff the faculty of the university to pursue their task with diligence and to spare no effort to ensure that teaching inspires those who study in their classrooms. We sincerely thank Dr. Lucent Mati, who assisted us for many years with loyalty, devoting, and diligence in our efforts for the progress of education in our country and in the establishment of the University College of Addis Ababa. which is one of the affiliated institutions of Haile Selassie University. Also, remember we wish to remember the late Miss A. Basse, who was one of those who have generously contributed towards the establishment of this university. All of you must maintain the highest standard in your instruction in order that the overall standard of this university may be second to none. Work together in harmony as a team in raising this institution to the highest academic levels. Each of you, each of you must do this part to contribute to the advancement of knowledge. You must to advancement of knowledge. You must above all be scholarly, for it is by deeds rather than by words that you can mostly affect